Hi Smarties! Back with Galactic, and we are here with your math lesson for today. So, we are starting, I got our Envisions book. So I'm going to be following this for math. There are some things that I'll do that are extra, but for the most part, with all of this, with reading, writing, and math, I'm going to be following the curriculum. So please make sure that you are watching these and doing them with me so you can stay up with the curriculum. So then when we go back, I'm going to start from where I left off on. So make sure that you are doing these and that you are staying up with your reading, writing, and math. So we are starting a brand new topic, topic 12 in our math books, and it is all about measuring lengths, how long something is, how short something is, the longest, the shortest, what do those words mean? And yeah, so measuring and length. Here are some vocabulary words that you will need to know when we are doing this. So you have longest, okay? So if you look at the little worms up here, the yellow worm is the longest. You have the word shortest, okay? The red worm is the shortest. You have longer, the word longer. If you were to compare something, if you were to compare a crayon and a marker, you would say the marker is longer than the crayon. You have the word shorter, again comparing, so we're comparing things. What's longer, what's shorter, what's the longest? That's length, so how the length of from one end to the other, like if you look at this bat, the length of this bat is so many feet, inches. Sometimes you can even measure in cubes. You can measure different things. Hands. Horses are measured in hands. So yeah. And then measure. Obviously, we are working our unit. Topic 12 is all about measuring. So today's lesson is putting order. I can order objects by length. So that is your I can statement. I can order objects by length. So the longest object all the way down to the shortest object. So, our solve and share. Math is going to look a little different. Today is going to be a lot of like pointing and just doing this. And then you're going to be finding things around the house. Sometimes you'll have your slate and stuff out or a piece of paper. But today, because of the lesson, it's going to be pretty much just a lot of pointing. So, let's look at our solve and share. Okay, our solve and share says, can you put these objects in order from longest to shortest? How can you tell if one object is longer than the other? So you have three objects up here. You have a pencil, you have a paintbrush, and you have a marker. I want you to take a look at those three objects. Okay? I want you to point to the longest object out of those three, the pencil, the paintbrush, the marker. Which object is the longest? Hopefully, you pointed, to the pencil. Okay, the pencil being the longest. Now, I didn't say to measure it. We're kind of using our eyes right now. We're eyeballing it and seeing by what is the longest and shortest. Now, I want you to point to the shortest object out of those three objects. So we know the pencil is out of the question because the pencil is the longest object. Okay, but what is the shortest object out of those three? Hopefully you pointed to the paintbrush. The paintbrush is the shortest object. So if the pencil is the longest object and the paintbrush is the shortest object, which object comes in the middle? What is the one that comes between the longest and the shortest? Hopefully you pointed to the marker. The marker is in between. It's not the longest and it's not the shortest. But I have a question for you. I'm going to kind of extend this, our solve and share. Which object is longer? the marker or the paintbrush? I want you to point. Which object is longer? The marker or the paintbrush? So we're not even talking about the pencil. Out of the marker and the paintbrush, which one is longer? Hopefully, you said that the marker was longer because the marker is longer than the paintbrush. So see how we switched those words? Longest, we said it was the pencil, but when I'm comparing two objects, and if I said which one is longer, okay, that's when I bring in that vocabulary word. Which one is shorter? The pencil or the marker? Trying to trick you. Which one is shorter? So now again, comparing two objects, we take out the paintbrush and we're comparing the pencil and the marker. Which one is shorter? Point to which one is shorter, the pencil or the marker. Hopefully you pointed to the marker. When you're comparing this pencil and this marker is shorter than the pencil. Okay, so that's what our lesson is on today. Pretty quick lesson. We're going to do a couple follow-up activities, and I'm going to tell you what I want you to do around the house. So, let's do this. I need to figure out a better way, but we'll get there. All right, here we go. So, we have some practice. We have some chalk, and we have some paintbrushes. You have now 3 objects. The same thing that we did, only on the other page it was different objects. Here we have the same. But looking at the chalk, you have the blue piece of chalk, the pink piece of chalk, and the purple piece of chalk. What they want you to do is they want you to draw a line, or you can match it on your screen with your finger. Okay, the longest. They have it there done for you. They said that the pink piece of chalk is the longest out of these 3 pieces, and the purple piece of chalk is the shortest. Okay, so shortest. Let's go down to the bottom and do the paint brushes. I want you to use your finger, and I want you to draw a line right now from the word longest to the longest paintbrush. And look, they even have them kind of lined up perfectly for you. All of the edges or the tips of the brushes are at the same point. Which one is the longest? Hopefully you drew your finger from the word longest to the green paintbrush. It has green paint at the tip of it. Okay, which one is the shortest paintbrush? Draw your finger from the word shortest to the shortest paintbrush, and hopefully you did a little imaginary line from the word shortest to the purple paintbrush with the purple at the tip of it. Nice job, Smarties. So, this is what we're working on today. All right, using the words longest, shortest, longer, and shorter. So now, I'm going to have you kind of go on a scavenger hunt around the house. This is what I want you to do for your activity for math today. Okay, I want you to go around the house, and I want you to find anywhere from 2 objects to 3 objects. So, if I was to go around the house and I'm going to find a pen. Okay, I'm still here. I'm going to find one more thing that I saw. I found 2 objects. Okay, then I want you to take them back to mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, whoever's watching you, and I want you to tell them when you're comparing 2 objects, which one is longer and which one is shorter. So I would say the scissors are longer than the pen. So if I were to line them up, you can see that. And then I'm going to say, so I'm practicing using the word longer. Then I'm going to say, oh, but the pen is shorter than the scissors. Okay? So does that make sense? You can find anything. Find shoes, 2 different size shoes. Compare those sizes. Find maybe a utensil like a spoon and then a big spatula that you can flip pancakes with and compare those. Maybe you have a crayon and a glue stick. Compare which one is longer, which one is shorter of those. Then try to get 3 objects. So if I bring up my, let's see, that's pretty close. You want to try to get 3 objects that aren't the same. Here, I'll use my little thing. So now I have my little device that goes in my computer to upload things, my pen, and scissors. So I would go to a parent, if this was you, and I would want you to now compare. The scissors, okay, are the longest. The device, computer device, I forget what this is called, okay, is the shortest out of the 3. The scissors is the longest out of my 3 objects. My computer device is the shortest out of the 3 objects. But, okay, the pen is longer than my computer plug-in. So then you're working on the words longer, longest, shorter, shortest. So yes, this is the shortest out of my 3 objects, and it's shorter than the pen. So, have fun. Go around the house, find different objects, bring them to them, and compare them. So you're comparing objects. Socks. Just trying to think of things that you have around the house. Different things, like I said, shoes, materials that you may have. Books. Different size books. Which one's the longest and which one's the shortest. So yeah, have fun with it. And you're really just getting comfortable using those words, those vocabulary words, comparing the lengths of objects. Longest, shortest, longer, shorter. That is your math lesson for today. And then we will go on to our math lesson tomorrow, which we'll do is 12.2. Which is still working on measuring. So we're going to be measuring for the topic of 12. So have fun, Smarties, and I hope to see you all tomorrow morning. I'm trying to get our conference, our meeting call live. That's my next thing to do. So I hope to see all your smiling faces tomorrow. And make sure you get your reading, writing, and math done today. Bye, Smarties.